Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you the way to make the prayer ties be easy to unwrap when we are putting them on the tree on tree day. The leaders want to be able to tie the prayer ties all in one string, so each person's prayer ties would be tied to each other. And in order to do this sort of quickly, the leaders are asking that we share with the people the easiest way to make it easy to unwrap at the tree. So there's three ways, I think three main parts that I'm going to show in this video. The first is to start the ball. Basically, the best way is to have the prayer ties tied as close as possible together and to be wrapped in a ball. So the first part will be starting the base or the ball, and then the second part will be showing what it looks like if they're tied close together, and then showing what the ball looks like. The video is not going to be all the time to tie all these prayer ties. It's just going to be a couple moments, and then I'll sort of review at the end. The main point again is to try to get the prayer ties as close as possible, and then to try to wrap them in a ball so that when the leaders are unwrapping them to then put them on the tree, that they can do it fast and that the prayer ties don't get knotted together or tangled together. And then this will allow us to have a sort of quicker tree day. All right, enjoy. Okay, so the first part of the video, there's many ways that I've seen people do this. I use a plastic bag because that's what was recommended to me. Some people just start with the prayer ties, and some people they actually use like a little ball or a piece of paper from a paper bag. It doesn't really matter. The point is to be able to sort of start the base to wrap the prayer ties around. So I usually just take this string and then just kind of start wrapping it. Try not to do too much, so then at the tree the leaders aren't unwrapping a bunch of string. But then this also allows, when they do unwrap it, there is some string left over to tie to the next person's prayer ties. So as you can see, there's this little ball to kind of start the base. All right, for this next part, I'm just going to show quickly putting the prayer ties close together. Now, there's tons of different ways that people tie their prayer ties. That's sort of irrelevant as long as the way you tie them allows you to put the prayer ties close together. So I'm going to just do it the way that I know how to do it. Some tobacco, some smudge, say a prayer. So the way I do it, I just do my loop, and I try to make it where my loop is right next to the other knot. And then when I tuck it back in there, I just want that to be as close as possible. And then I just pull it tight. As you can see, the pear ties are really close together. I have seen people get them even closer, but this way I try to get them as close as I can, and the leaders usually don't. They usually say, oh, it unravels nicely. They make that comment. So I know that it works and it doesn't get untangled as they're doing it. So I'm gonna do a few more and then come back and show you what it looks like when they're close together. I think for me, like I said, there's so many ways to do this that it can be different for others. It's just the way that I do it. Hold on a second. I think for me, what works the best is when I make my loop here next to the knot. The kind of smaller that now I'm struggling because somebody's watching, or should I say everyone is watching. Anyways, the closer it is there, the smaller the loop that I'm able to pull through allows it for me to make it closer. So, this is not a ton, this is 6, but as you can see, they are right next to each other. I'm gonna do some more and then I'll come back and show you how I would start wrapping this into a ball. Okay, so now you can see got a bunch of prayer ties close together. Like I said, I've seen people that they get them so close together that you almost don't even need to put them in a ball because they're just not going to get tangled. That being said, I still put them in a ball. So then I start wrapping it, and then I kind of start wrapping it and going over itself. And then once I get to a certain point where I can still work with it, and then I stop. And then once it gets long enough, I start wrapping again. And so I'm going to turn the video off and tie some more and then come back. Okay, so I'm back again. I've finished all of the black. And as you can see, they're all really close together. Kind of looks like a jumbled mess, but if I just keep wrapping this around and then try to kind of go in different directions, start to get a ball. I usually gotta leave a little bit of space to move on. So I'll continue to do the rest of the colors and jump back in and keep showing you how to wrap it until the end. Okay. This part of the video, I wanted to show you a closer view for those of you who may have had interest of how I tie it to get the prayer ties close together. I was looking at the video earlier and noticed that you might not be able to see my hands very well. So I just wanted to do a couple from a different view so you can see how I do these prayer ties. Again, there's many ways to do this. It's just how I do it. But here is how I do it. So I first make a little loop here, and you can see it's right close to the other knot. And then I take another loop and I just pull it through. And if you pull on this end, it'll make it where the knot still stays close. And then I just tuck it in and pull it tight. And so you can see these prayer ties are really close. So I'll get another one. Again, The loop is really close to the knot. And then I put the second loop through. And I just kind of make it tight. And then pull it tighter. And again, they're really close. So just do one more. It's kind of hard to do. My hand is hitting the stand, aka books, that my phone is on. I'm trying to get under the camera. So once you get used to it, it goes a little faster than this. I'm trying to also show it to you guys. All right. So that's a little better view on how I tie them and get them close together. Okay, so I am done with my prayer ties, and you can see again they're all really close together. And here's this big ball that I formed with all the prayer ties. So I just kind of wrap it like this and keep it tight and just go in different directions as I move along. And then this allows it really easy to unwrap around the tree. So that's what the leaders are asking us to do in preparation for this coming year's Sundance. And then I will just take my string, and I usually just tie a little knot, and then it has a tag so that it can be easily undone. It'll stay together in transit, but so you can see here that's just a little, and then I'll just pull this string right here and it'll come undone, and then I'll have it ready when I'm at the tree. And so here it is. So to review, the first thing I did was I got a little bag to start the base of the ball, and then I tied my prayer ties really close together so that they don't get tangled, and then I wrapped them around the base to form a ball. And there's another thing that's important that will help it not get tangled that I forgot to mention before, and so I have thin string here. These are for actually a Whoopee ceremony that I'm going to today, and so it's not going to be wrapped around a tree, so it's not as big of a deal for me right now. But when I tie these prayer ties for the Sundance, it's better to use thicker cotton string. The thicker cotton string gets less tangled, and so that's another thing the leaders were asking for when you make your prayer ties this coming year. All right, that's it for me, and I hope you guys have a great year, and I'll see you when I see you.